So, we're at the pull apart and we're hunting for an engine. Actually, we're looking for a core. We're looking for a 360 Magnum engine, 5.9 Magnum for a Junkyard Jet, for the Junkyard Jet. And when we find the appropriate one, you guys are going to come and pull it?
Yeah, we'll come back and pull it out.
But right now, we're not here to pull a motor, we're here to find a motor. So, let's talk about some of the things that you want to take into consideration when you're hunting for an engine out in a junkyard, salvage yard, pull apart, whatever it happens to be. Or even if you're looking at something on somebody's property. We'll go through all of those steps. But the first thing I want to say is common wisdom used to be when you're looking for a motor, try to find one that's in a wrecked car, because it's obvious how the motor ended up there. You know, the truck, the car, whatever got mangled, and so it's in the junkyard. It's not like that these days. Today you can walk through these yards and see vehicles that are absolutely pristine. Good paint, not a dent on them, perfect interiors, the whole 10 yards. But they're pooched because they've got electrical issues, they've had under-dash fires, they've got all sorts of things that you won't see as you're just walking past. So don't just discount something because the body looks clean and says, well, it must be in there because bad motor. No, a lot of times the motor is fine. It's the stuff around it that took a dump. So what we have here is, this is the first one we come across. So the first 360 we've come across. And for those of you who are junkyard spotting, just in case you don't have a sticker here that tells you whether it's, you know, what size of the motor. For the Chrysler products, it's just a simple matter of looking at the damper right here. The 318, the 5.2 has a narrow damper, and then the 360 has this much broader damper. So, but at any rate, how do we know that this is one that we want to take home? Now, the first thing is that this has a strike against it, in that the hood's been open, the throttle body is off, and the intake manifold has been exposed to rain. So it may have been raining on this thing. We had some pretty crazy rains here last week. It could have been raining on this, and it's possible that motor is loaded with water. So if you're going engine shopping, probably the most valuable tool you can bring along is a breaker bar with an appropriate socket to rotate the motor. So before we even get into that, we'll pull a dipstick. It's got no oil in it at all.
It wasn't all the way in.
It wasn't all the way in, but if you look at the dipstick, right, you notice there's no buildup, there's no crud or anything like that. This dipstick is actually very clean. There's no tarnish on it, which tells me that during this thing's service life, it had regular oil changes, regular intervals. That's actually a really good sign. And again, see, we're looking for a core here. We're not necessarily looking for an engine that's going to just drop in the car and run. When you're looking for that, you have to be a little more particular. We're looking for stuff that doesn't have any serious damage, right? And just judging by the condition of this, odds are internally the engine is going to be okay. So let's put that back. Now, again, if we were looking for a runner, something that we're just going to, it doesn't want to go all the way back. If we're looking for a drop and go engine, we would pull some plugs here to get a general idea. Actually, we pull as many plugs as we can to get a general idea of how the engine's running, and if it's got a weak cylinder, let's say something's got bad oil rings or anything like that, it'll show up on the spark plugs. We don't care about that here, so we're not going to bother with that. But again, see, if the oil looks good, the dipstick looks good, you continue on. Another thing you want to look at, if you're buying a runner, if you're looking to buy a runner, is you want to look at the tailpipe and you want to look at the back of the vehicle. Here, let's go back here. So, if this was an oil burner, the back of the car, all of this would have an oily film. This one has a carbon film, which means that's telling me that it was running rich. See, I'm getting black. It's not just dirt. I'm getting black as I run my hand across the bumper here and feel around underneath. The exhaust is essentially missing out of this. And again, see, if it was pumping oil, if it was a regular oil burner, this whole back would be covered with an oily film, because as you're driving down the road, exhaust is coming up like this, so it deposits that mist on the back of the truck. And this one actually looks pretty good.
That's a good sign.
Why is that a good sign?
It's already fast. It's good to go.
It's got a lot of stickers.
It's good to go. That's
A lot
like
of stickers.
400 horsepower.
Yeah, and it was left on. It was abandoned on the side of the road.
That's perfect for what we're doing.
It could be. What really counts right now is how does the motor rotate. So again, the most important tool you could bring with you for something like this, a breaker bar with the appropriate socket. Son,
Yes.
lay under there.
All right.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to go for one full revolution in the direction of rotation, a normal direction of rotation.
All right.
And it's locked up.
Yeah, I'm pulling myself on the ground here.
Okay.
Give her one more try.
Try going the other way real quick just to see if maybe...
Oh, there that goes.
No,
No, she's tight.
she's dead. This motor's locked up. Now you see, if you're just buying a core, you say, well, okay, it's seized or whatever it is, we're going to turn the crank, we're going to throw rods in it, we're going to do all that anyway. But it's just not worth going any further, unless you're desperate, or you just need things like off the top of the motor, the heads, or whatnot. At this point, this one's kaput, and the search for another is on. Let's go.
Not really one of those stickers.
What do we got here? What are you going to dodge? What is it?
It's Dodge.
That's a 4.7.
Ah,
Yeah, it's not a Dodge. Right.
not a Dodge.
This one's
This is
crashed,
closer.
but it would be nearly impossible for us to get in there and actually assess without cutting away all of this.
Yeah,
So let's go for easier.
that's a shame.
And this one's got a narrow damper, so we know it's a 318,
Oh.
5.2.
I don't see these very often. Cadillac. There's another one. We've got Magnum.
This? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, it's got a thick damper on it.
It's still same deal like you're saying, the
Yeah.
intake manifold's exposed.
Yep. Here, take this.
Yeah.
No tarnish, very little, not nearly as much tarnish as you'd expect on a higher mileage engine. Again, this one looks like it might have been taken care of. Let's see if we get a rotation out of that.
Yeah. This one's a bit harder to get to.
This
Oh yeah, yeah, that's easy.
spins easy.
Yeah, it spins real easy. I get a full rotation out, but let me make sure. But so far so good. Yeah, it's pretty much just one hand. This, I think.
I get one full rotation out of it,
Yeah.
right?
Watching the time mark.
Now you can also get an idea what the engine's compression is like, what the rings are like, because as you're rotating the motor, when you come across a light spot, let's just say, because the motor should pull evenly all the way around. So if as you're rotating it, you come to a point where the resistance goes away and the motor just kind of rotates easily on its own, it means that that cylinder is most likely dead.
And the good thing is that that's not the case so far. She's pretty consistent.
It feels even, right?
Very good. Yeah. Hang on, let me give her a couple more.
All right, so she went a full rotation?
One more ought to do it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the next thing we're gonna do. Here, come down here.
All right.
All right, now you stay there.
Okay.
Come down here. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to get an idea, because the motor's got compression, it's free, it's moving, right?
Yeah.
But I want to get an idea if it has any internal damage. And when we do that is, let's say it has a spun rod or anything like that. As you rock the motor back and forth, you'll hear like a clunking or a looseness.
Yeah.
So do that now. Just go back and forth on the plate and listen carefully to the oil pan.
Get on there straight.
Do it a few times so that you get a real feel for it. Do you hear anything? Do you feel anything?
Well, smooth both ways. I don't hear anything stands out.
I think we may have found a winner.
I think so.
Okay.
She spins over real easy both ways. I don't hear no noises or nothing. There's oil in it. So, that's a good sign. You gotta have oil in it to leak it.
Antifreeze a little rusty, but it's all there. It probably the block's probably going to need to be boiled. Once they get rusty in there, it just stays. Right?
Oil don't smell like gas.
I think we have a winner here. I think we have a winner.
I think so too, and I love this color. That's just go
Isn't
fast.
that nice
That's go fast blue.
So, I think we found our core. And again, right, because it's a core, we're not going to go really crazy. It's going to get re-ringed. It's going to get all of that. But we know now that the crank is good. The block is probably good. It has compression. It has everything. So this was a runner. This is probably going to be a good engine to build. If we were going further, and it was just, we're going to take this thing out and plug it into another car, then you really want to scrutinize. You want to pull the spark plugs, look at them. You want to just look over everything. You can check the tailpipe, the back of the car, see if there's any oil or anything like that. But I think we got a good one here.
Oh yeah, this one seems pretty good.
So now you're going to pull it out.
Yeah, we have to come back and pull it out because we ain't got no tools.
All right. But you better do it before this video airs, because now how many people know that we're at Pull Apart in Laverne and we just found a good 360?
We're just buying this truck and taking it. Don't bother coming and find it. We're taking the whole thing.
All right. So that's it. I hope you got something out of that. I know you just got something out of that.
Yeah, I've never done this, so
yeah,
that was fun.
So that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.